it going? I am finally back from vacation, but sadly in 2 weeks I'll be back to school. And with me being very busy trying to grind something, I don't know how many videos will be coming for these last 2 weeks. But nonetheless, today I finally represent to you my first Q&A. But honestly, let's be real. A traditional Q&A is pretty boring, and we've all watched 700 of those, so I made it a little more interesting. Basically, I posted a community post where I asked you guys to hit us up with literally anything. Of course, you could send questions, but you could also ask for my opinion on something, my predictions for future areas, or something you thought was funny. Whatever the hell you wanted me to take a look at for a video, you could go ahead and post it. Oh, and to make matters even more interesting, thatonekid10020, also known as Joey, was currently at my house. So I asked him if he wanted to be a part of this, and he said yes. He's a pretty successful JATO builder, building for Thanksgiving 2019 as well as TOAC. So in terms of the building stuff, that is now covered. So when me and Joey got home from vacation, we went ahead and skimmed through the comments and saw what you guys had to ask us, and we went ahead and answered them. So without a further ado, let's go ahead and see your guys' very questions. Alright Joey, so are you ready to look through?
No, I'm actually terrified.
I'm kind of terrified too, to be honest, because...
absolutely terrified, mortified, even.
Yeah, this is gonna... Either it could be some really good questions in here, or it's just a massive thread full of just...
There's gonna be some good ones, and then just a whole hell of a lot of bad.
I'm interested to see how this is gonna go.
Oh boy.
I'm scared to click it. Who's gonna freaking click it?
You?
Okay, let's take a look. Oh boy. First thing I see. What is the Adam here? He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
It's a good question.
It is a good question. What was it like being a JATO staff member? And for those of you who don't know, I actually did used to be a staff member for JATO.
Way back.
Yes, that is like way before most of you guys were around. I was a staff member from December 2018 to end of June 2019.
God, was it that long ago?
Yeah, it was that long ago.
Oh my god.
And I ended off, and this is a whole nother video subject entirely. Basically, I caused a whole bunch of drama, and I left the staff team. It's a common misconception that I was demoted. I was not demoted. I left on my own terms. But that is something for a completely different video. During the JATO era, being a staff member was very fun. It was really nice. Oberyn managed it very well. There was constant communication and whatnot. And it was just a very stable staff team. If you ever had issues with your life, you could easily talk in there. It was a really nice staff team. And then when it moved into JATO, it just failed. Because Petruvi, who was the former head of staff, left. And it was under completely new management. And it just doesn't work. Basically, how it worked was there was 2 people who held all the power. And that was really it. And that is still, in a way, how it's ran today. It does honestly feel like that there's, like, 4 people who run the entire staff team. I don't know how you feel.
At least it's a little bit better, probably. I mean, they've had time. Because keep in mind, it's not like this was what Juke did. Like, Juke was kind of tossed right into it, and they had to kind of figure it out a little bit. Like, they had some experience, I'm sure, but keep in mind, it's not like they... we're gonna be perfect at it, you know?
No, and I really do feel like, when I was in staff, Juke did not move in a lot. Basically what I'm saying is that Juke kind of just let it out to, like, a couple people, which was not good, because those couple of people were did not make very good decisions, in my opinion, which kind of helped me try and get out of there. Probably one of the best decisions I've ever made in my JATO career is getting the hell out of the staff team. No joke. It was such a bad place, and I have no feelings or motivation to go back. I really don't. It was terrible. Like, the JATO staff team helped me so much in my life. I was going through a very terrible time. And then it felt like the JATO staff team was like middle school. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Middle school. Oh god. Maybe.
Should an anti-LHJ patch get added to the game, and what would its consequences be if added? Well, unfortunately, now this is what I know. Joey is more of a person to talk about this here. To my understanding, the way that current LHJ patches work is it detects if you have lag or not and screws you over, unless a new way has been made. Is that correct?
I believe so. That's the only way that I could think that it would even be
So
possible.
basically, the consequence is 90% of you can't play the game. But for me, I wouldn't care. I don't have lag issues. I don't think Joey has lag issues either.
Not anymore, but I definitely used to, and I could see that, especially loading into towers. Even if you have a really good computer, playing something like COHP, that would absolutely kill everyone. It wouldn't even be possible.
Oh yeah.
Because it would just... I don't know, maybe it could...
The best way, in my opinion, to so-called patch LHJ skips is to not necessarily patch them, but require manual verification for every cat except generation failure. Because I feel it's like there's like 70 badge owners or more of Girl Punishment. It's like, why? It only takes one line of code in a developer console for Juke to go ahead and give the badge. Why? It's not worth it, just having all these exploiters ruin the badge count. Do you think JATO will ever have a second game called JATO 2? That's tricky. The answer for me is no. I don't know what you think, Joey.
I mean... To me, it seems kinda dumb, because... if I had to be realistic here, the spatial system would pretty much be that.
That is very true, and JATO is more of a game that you could just add on to.
Right.
It's not a game that you necessarily make a sequel of, it's a game you add on to. Mm-hmm. Kind of like No Man's Sky, I guess? I don't know. For me, I think what the JATO team could do if they're wanting to go ahead and try to get into a game to go into a different direction is revamping older rings, which would suck a lot and would be very unpopular. But if that's the route that they are looking for, I really feel like that is the only way. Because if they make a second game, it's gonna get split. Like, look at Purple's Totally Tubular Towers and stuff. Yeah. It's fairly split. Like, bruh. No, I feel like they could do it. It's just I don't think it's a good decision.
Expansion is the better choice.
Yes. Oh, I gotta answer this question. Are you open to trying tiered obbies without judging all of them due to some of the bad ones? I know this sounds rather unnecessary, which in essence it is, but I'd like to see if you could try and see the fun in them. So basically you're saying that tiered obbies are good, in which you are wrong.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say is, the question really comes off as, I like tiered hobbyists, and you should like them, and, I know you've played a couple, but they must have been terrible, the worst of the worst.
I tried to play a tier 12 recently, and guess what? You're not gonna believe it. Just the random obby I checked out has the good old stereotype of tiered obbies where one jump ruins the entire thing.
Every single one is like that.
I know! And I don't want to play the same 10 jumps over and over again. Like, this is why I like JATO much better, because I at least am playing more. And I feel like there's way more work done to towers rather than tiered obbies.
As well as it has infinitely more variety, because you're not stuck with using the same basic parts and rotating and doing a whole bunch of weird, finicky stuff that I know Logan definitely does not like.
I'm gonna put up a picture. I'm not gonna say who sent it, but the freaking, the picture that was in JATO basement when that was the thing. Of, I'm not gonna say their name, obviously. Yep. But, Purist Towers, when they say that they have creativity and it's just like dresses rotating.
Yeah, yeah. Seriously.
I love that image.
Seriously. Also, since we're on the topic of purism real quick, conveyors are purist, thank you, that is all I will say.
Due to the recent controversy of PA, do you think the JATO team should address a new way of curating towers? Oh, dude, that's spicy. So here's the thing that's really hard. There is no public information as to how Paradise Atoll Towers were judged. Which makes it damn near impossible. I think the lesson that the JATO staff team needs to learn, and this is... let me go ahead and step back here. From my understanding, it is mainly the JATO staff team that choose towers, not the Curation team. There is no public information in terms of procedure of how towers get added or whatnot. We know nothing about that pretty much. So for me, I really feel like it's that the staff team need to learn over its gameplay over creativity. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
What I think needs to happen, personally, is that there needs to be a little bit more openness in the way that this stuff is actually carried out in, like, the process. Because it's a little, like, obvious, it's obvious that if your tower's done good or not on a review, but that's just on paper. Because when it comes time for, like, adding towers in-game or whatever, or choosing towers, everything that you might have thought can just completely do a 180. Right back on itself. So there needs to be some amount of, like, I don't know, something to at least tell you if you're going in the right direction or not.
Yeah, I do feel like that the decision of this new curation system is not a good idea. I feel like that, I guess, basically what I'm saying is that this new curation system I think needs to change, because just one sentence in the verdict is, it's very helpful when you're a newer creator and trying to improve your shit, when you only get told, oh, your tower is bland and unsavable. I mean, there was a recent review by Nate that's just a picture of the tower with a hard fail on it. How am I supposed to learn from my... It's like, bruh.
Yeah.
It's like Geometry Dash. Have you ever looked at famous creators' first levels? They're hilarious. They're freaking terrible. That's kind of how towers are. What do you expect? Someone to go ahead and make this glamorously gold poop out of their ass for their first tower?
Yeah, you gotta at least tell them, like... And I know that some curators will sometimes try to go around the rule of... or around the whole one-sentence structure thing by adding more sentences actually explaining what is wrong. Some don't do that. Nate's a little bit harsh when he dishes out hard fails. I know that he does it specifically when he thinks that nobody else would fail it, rather than giving it only a normal fail when it could have potential going along in the future, which is something I personally don't think he should do, but I can understand why he does it. But, you know, it's just... each curator will rate things differently, and you have to accept that, because nobody's going to be completely like-minded with stuff like that.
How long... So this is for you, Joey. How long did it take to build Aquatic Contemplation?
How long did it take?
I want to say it took 2 weeks, didn't it?
No. It took...
Well, half of it got built in, like, 2 days.
Yeah, so it took... total building time was about 8 days. That was not the actual like building time, but like the actual like the amount of time the development was spread across.
Right. But
that was a bit difficult to manage, because it was a lot of building and a lot of hours put in every day, to the point where towards the end we were all a little just kind of having a little bit of difficulty just building and getting stuff done.
Yeah, I remember, because this was back when JATO game was prevalent rather than JATO basement. Mm-hmm. It was, every time I'd go in there, it was like something was f***ed up in that tower. Every single time. Something would be broken, or you'd be begging someone to finish their part.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me. Oh, God. So many things broke. So much. Some of it was our fault. Some of it was just the kit being the kit, and...
You want to go ahead and tell them about the cube. The cube.
All I'll say, firstly, don't make morphers with conveyors until V6 comes out, because it will turn everything in that morpher into a conveyor. If you do not realize that, it will have problems, severe problems, and we had a couple problems with very specific client objects, and just, oh whole lot of it. A little bit of a mess, but it worked, sort of. I feel like it could probably. It lags your computer to look at it with all the welds. It's bad. And
I need to ask 3XW if I can show him the picture of the welds in Tornado Behemoth.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's not as bad as the TOAC welds. Yeah, I can get you a picture of that.
He sent that to me already.
Yeah, you can definitely find it, but it's bad. It's very time consuming. That took like it took like 3 of the 8 days just to build.
So this one is my favorite steeple. Prove me wrong by giving me every negative thing you can of the steeple. I can immediately go ahead and just completely say this.
Well,
you're brain dead.
Well, hold on. He will do you gotta debunk his positives first.
I can sum up SOHS in 2 words. It's
So, okay, so here, go ahead and just look at it. Yeah?
Okay, how long do you think? Oh my god! This isn't an Orbs Curator review, my man!
Well, you gonna debunk?
The steeple has hand-drawn characters that were made in 30 seconds.
Also, hand-drawn is a little bit of an over-exaggeration. It used
effort was put in to make the steeple have an enjoyable story and dialogue. It was cringy.
It's terrible.
The gameplay of the tower was fairly enjoyable. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was like a nerfed version of an SC. It uses creative gameplay, which is jank and unique, which is the sole reason why the gameplay is The atmosphere of the steeple is so friendly. No, it is cringy. It is really short and has more. Oh my, I'm done. I'm not looking at it. This guy has his complete points backwards. Do you believe that JATO will die one day? Yeah.
Everything will have that point.
Here's the big question. We know Juke said that they're going to college soon. Who's going to take over after Juke? That is a huge question.
That's a really good
question.
Because
it depends. If it gets given to Urchin, I could see the game doing well. Very well.
Same with Gamma.
Same with Gamma. However, say for... This is just an example. I'm not trying to on anybody here. It gets given to Vincent, who isn't the most active person in development.
Actually, surprisingly so, he is.
I know, but it's like I'm not trying to diss him or anything. I think you're trying to. You get what my concern is.
Yeah.
The main question is, will JATO have a good third owner? And that's something that only Juke can answer.
Well, I feel like if it's gonna happen, it'll likely end up being somewhat of a transition, as you said, going from Kato to JATO.
Right.
Which would be a little rough for a little bit.
Right. It took about 2 weeks, and then everything started the identity started coming back.
It would even out at a certain point.
Will you ever consider a video about what towers you should do before every SC? What towers will teach you the mechanics and improve upon those mechanics? See, here's the problem. When you start getting to the soul-crushing level, you can't be good at everything anymore. And the biggest flaw is that people just go ahead and ask people, oh, what should be my first SC? You can't do that. Because like I'm repeating myself. You can't be good at everything. The question is now finding, specifically, when you go into the remorseless skill level, you need to find out what you're good at. Are you good at purism? Are you better with client objects? Maybe you're better at long jumps rather than wraparounds. And then you can go ahead and answer the questions yourselves. Okay, what should be my first SC? Maybe I'm better with more condensed difficulty, which if so, you're going to like TODC better. Am I somebody who... Do I just want to go ahead and suck it up and try and get my purism better? Then maybe you want to think about doing thinning layers. It's really dependent on what you can handle and what you want. And that's the tricky part. That is the hard part of choosing of getting good at this game, is knowing about you, not what you can do. So no, the short answer is find it out yourself. Especially when you get to the remorseless skill level. What's it like getting disappointed at your YouTube live stream chat? Oh god. You see, I know my YouTube live stream chat is extremely terrible. Like, I'm just gonna be flat out real with you. It's terrible. And Joey right now is crying on my table. Like, I'm not even joking. He's literally got his arm above his eyes. It's terrible. And unfortunately, because of the way the JATO community works, if I were to do extremely tight action, which I'd love to do, trying to put that chat under control, it would become a massive meme, and people would just start messing around on purpose. So, I'm just not going to deal with it.
The Twitch chat's better.
Yes.
That's all I'll say.
Yes. If you were to build, what difficulty, what name, and where would the tower be?
You trying to siphon ideas? Is that what you're getting at here?
True. Here's the thing. I can't build. Like, I can't. It's just the end of the story. I know people are like, oh, it'd be so cool for Logan to build that. I can't build. Just period. I can't build.
I'll tell you what. The easiest... There's two difficulties that are, like, pretty much the easiest difficulties to make.
I'm gonna try and guess them right now.
Go for it.
Challenging and REM.
I wouldn't say REM. I'd say more challenging and intense. REM just ends up being SC most of the time when people try to build it.
True! Yeah.
Which is a huge issue, but we're gonna go around that.
For me, if I were to start tower building, I would honestly have to have this man judge every single jump I would make, and it would go ahead and make him annoyed. And right now, he's busy with other shit. I'm also busy with other shit.
Oh, he's busy.
When isn't he busy? That is true. And then he just goes on a week vacation with me.
So that's fun.
If I were to build anything, it would probably be it would probably be for JATO R, to be honest, because I need something to base off of.
Nope. Do not. I will tell you what. If you're new to building, go to a fan game, right?
Okay, so basically make a long-ass tower and submit to Atos.
Yes, exactly.
Next!
Definitely.
That's all we need. What is the best kind of cheesecake? I don't think I've ever had a bad kind of cheesecake.
I haven't either, but we did just recently
here we go. I was just
have a strawberry cheesecake milkshake.
Yes.
And it was good as
I'll
hell.
put a picture on screen. This was...
Yeah.
Freaking strawberry cheesecake milkshake. We had this on vacation. It was absolutely hilarious.
I personally love strawberry cheesecake or caramel cheesecake. I cannot choose a favorite though.
See, here's the problem, Joey. We should have gotten a donut shake.
No, we couldn't. Listen, he can put a picture up. It's big. It's big, and it's no, we wouldn't have finished it.
My mom made a terrible assumption that we wouldn't finish the thing.
Oh, we did finish the milkshake. And it was
yeah,
good.
we did very easily. The thing would have been finished before our food came out.
It was damn good, though.
Yes, it was. What are your favorite games other than Roblox? That's a good question. I mean, obviously Geometry Dash. I know I'm boring.
Wow, lame.
I know I'm boring.
Lame. This is tough to answer without just looking at my Steam library.
No, let me answer this for you. Library's ruined it.
No, actually.
I'm actually shocked.
There's two VR games. There's Half-Life Alyx. Really great game. Really good visuals. Really good story. Go play it if you have the computer for it and a VR headset. Really good. And then there's a multiplayer VR game, which I don't even care to mention because I don't want you guys following me there. And aside from that, for like typical computer games, LOR and LobCorp, they are good games if you're into that kind of thing. They have great soundtracks and good stories, though. Yeah. And gee, sure, yeah.
May I recommend a tower for you to do for Push to Terrifying? No. Because going back to what I said earlier, all the towers for Push to Terrifying are selected based out of what I'm good at.
Basically, he's got it all planned out.
Yes. It's all planned out. There are towers that people recommend. Like, I'm going to just go ahead and flat out say this. Externalizing Insanity is not in. It's not. I don't know why people recommend me Externalizing Insanity. It's not a tower that I like, and it's not a skill that I want to have. And it's Peak Extreme. Why am I going to waste my time on a Peak Extreme when I can just go right to Terrifying? It's a freaking waste of time. Just go right to Terror. Don't do TOEI as a new hearts. And I said this in Beginner's Guide. Don't do peaks for your new hearts. Just move on to the next difficulty. It doesn't make sense. You're just wasting your time. I don't know how Joey feels on that, but
No, I do think you're right. At least if you can find something in your skill range. Like, for example, if you're say just as a hypothetical, like the easiest terrifying was like mid terrifying, and your hardest was like a low extreme.
Then that would be understandable. But still, I would think about trying to beat something high extreme rather than peak extreme.
Right.
Unless I genuinely really enjoyed the tower. Like, I did Thanos Tower as a new hardest, which really isn't peak. It isn't, but that's really basically me saying that's pretty much what I would go as far to do before going to extreme.
I will say it is quite a bit harder now.
Yes. Basically what I'm saying is, if you're trying to do a first extreme, don't do Toso. Save it for later. The Roblox Dev City Relations showed off a reduced minimum part size going from 0.05 to 0.001. How afraid are you?
Oh god.
I'm not afraid, to be honest. I'm not. Because what are the chances that a 0.001 stud jump is going to get into JATO reliably?
Well,
reliably anyway.
Well, here's the thing. First of all, if we're gonna be honestly going with something like that, I would expect them to instead knock it from 0.05 to 0.01, not 0.001. They would not do 0.001. It would be way too low. But I'd be a little scared because of misalignments being way too
difficult to deal with. Personally, I really feel like that's not going to affect JATO much, other than Curation having to hard fail more towers because people think they're funny.
Mm-hmm. You'd end up seeing a lot more stupid from newer creators trying to just make something funny.
What's the price?
I don't even know what that question refers to.
Alright, whatever.
I genuinely don't.
Question, why don't you become a developer for the game? There's two easy ways to go about this. One, I can't f***ing build. And two, I would not be trusted because I have too big of a YouTube platform. That's one thing as well.
Yeah.
It's pretty much impossible for me to... If I were to get good at building, I would never be invited to do anything JATO related. Because they would be so petrified I would leak something. And when I'm having like almost 6,000 subscribers, that's pretty much exposing the entire JATO community in a way what the hell's going on. So I can't do that. They're not going to let me in. Question, are you going to be playing JATO R? Yes, they just need to re-release the game finally.
Well, I mean, at least that 1 week vacation is going to like help time travel, sort of.
True.
As you call it.
Favorite desert. Also favorite dessert. Well, my favorite desert is no desert, because I haven't been to a desert. But my favorite dessert, however...
You clearly liked that, you clearly like the idea of that, donut milkshake.
I haven't had it, but let's just call it that. When are you going to make a spatial system beginner's guide? I have so many people ask me this question. And every single time I get asked this, I just go, you guys don't f***ing listen. I clearly stated in on the final part of the beginner's guide that that I do not recommend you do the spatial system until you get to Ring 5. So, with this in mind, you can now answer the question yourself. What do you think of your Zone 5 release date prediction being wrong? I don't give a True. What is your opinion on more modern looking towers and steeples? I don't care. Just prioritize the gameplay! Oh my god!
So as a builder, because this is going to be an interesting one, as a builder, you naturally will try and want to make things look good, or at least decent or clean. Sometimes people fail miserably at that, and classic style does not typically go well with that.
No.
Which is why modernism is a little bit easier to build, at least for people who... Because modernism also helps to just put in, like, air deco to at least give you something to build off of. And you can do that with more classic building styles, but it's just a bit harder and to make it stay classic. And modernism doesn't look terrible unless it looks terrible. And there are very prime examples of that. And I don't even need to name one. You can find one on your own, but
true.
Neon spam's pretty much what you're looking for, typically.
What's the toughest thing you can cook, bake off the top of your head with no assistance via recipe or tutorial?
I can make an egg.
For me, probably biscuits, to be honest.
Biscuits are, well,
not even biscuits, to be honest. I don't know.
You can make an egg, I'm sure.
Yes. Not as good as the ones that we had in Sandusky, though.
Well, that's because it was like farm fresh.
Honestly, I don't cook much. I really don't.
You why?
Yeah, we could just move on to the next freaking question. Like, I could probably get like a little bit far with the biscuits, but not much. What is the most just average tower in the game? Oh god, that's a tricky one.
Well, you see, you know what's the most average tower when you literally do not remember it at all? Because if it's like super, super, super average, it's not bad enough to remember, but it's not good enough to remember at all, and it's just kind of in the void.
I guess Citadel tricky situations?
You know, that or something from like Forgotten Ridge or Ring 3.
That is true.
It's something from there. I can't tell you which specifically because I wouldn't remember.
This is more of a question that helps me, but I was wondering, how do I drink water? Well, what you do is you find a water bottle.
Yeah, but he needs to know the muscles. Tell him exactly what muscles and in what order and in what motion, how to trigger them. Tell him.
Okay, Mr. Joey with a PhD, you can tell him.
Now, no.
Well, I guess you're dead.
That's an interesting one.
The real question is waffles or pancakes? No preference, to be honest.
Waffles. Waffles.
I don't have a preference.
I love a good Belgian waffle.
I don't have a preference. I really don't.
You're wrong.
I just not really had a, I just don't have a preference. I personally don't care. What and how did you cope with your heart problems? That is something I'll probably make a future video on because that is a very complicated subject. Basically, in short, they're not actively a problem. So if you see people going around saying that I'm having heart troubles, that's not correct. It's cured. It's been long gone. You don't have to worry about it. Is hot dog a sandwich? Yes.
If I remember correctly, there's a video of a Supreme Court justice.
Why? Why? Who would waste a Supreme Court justice's time?
Literally. Well, it's not like they have stuff to do every single day. Okay, well maybe they do. But still, they were asked if a hot dog was a sandwich by, because it was like an interview thing, right? And they said based on the evidence, yes. So therefore, in America, a hot dog is at least officially a sandwich.
Checkmate.
If you think otherwise, you're wrong.
How are you motivated to make YouTube videos?
He makes content he enjoys.
I mean, it's fairly simple. I mean, Joey just answered it for me.
I want to answer that.
Is it possible to eat tables?
Slowly.
There was a guy that ate an entire plane. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. Oh, it took him a very long time.
So yes, it is possible.
It is possible. If you can eat a plane, you can eat a table.
Yes.
Surely.
You seem to dislike tiered obbies. Do you hate all of them, some of them, the community, or all of the above? All of the above. I'm just gonna be really. I just don't. One of the main things that keeps me away from tiered obbies is actually not the obbies themselves, it's the community. And I know, and I find it very, very funny that they think the JATO community is worse. Their community is so bad that if I were to say even some of the things in there, things.
Oh yeah, no.
It would get my channel terminated. It's that bad. I can say anything I want about JATO and not have to worry about that.
Well, aside from very specific things, but at least it's not nearly as prevalent.
Yes, that is true. What's the most disgusting thing you have ever eaten? Oh god, I have no clue.
That's a good question.
I honestly have no clue.
I've eaten a cricket, but that was actually kind of not bad because
Crickets aren't bad.
It was like bacon cheddar flavored, and it wasn't bad at all.
I mean, I guess I could say that I'm just gonna change the question. It's a good question. I just can't answer
the worst thing you've ever eaten.
The worst thing I've ever eaten is a good question. That would probably be. I don't know.
For me, that would be a Carolina Reaper pepper. Never.
I had Carolina Reaper puree, but not like an actual pepper.
I had an actual pepper. Never. Do not touch those things.
Yeah, true. Just don't. Should orange juice have pulp? I'm about to get canceled. You see, for me, I like to drink my orange juice, not
eat it.
Yes.
Yeah. I like a smooth drinking experience, not chunky.
Hi, yes. Would you like some flavorless string inside of your water? I'm sure you
flavorless
would enjoy
string
it.
that also just like kind of gets in your teeth sometimes.
I
It's
have
just,
braces.
Like, yeah,
like that shit would get annoying now that I think about it.
Exactly.
Favorite type of milk?
Chocolate?
I would agree, I think. See, the problem is I'm technically lactose intolerant. It's not true.
Technically.
It's mainly the pesticides that they put in the milk that get me rather than the lactose. So, meh, I guess. Are you a cat or a dog person? Well, I have a cat. It's actually in Ring 9's cat therapy. My cat with the bow on the head.
She's
that's her.
scared.
Yeah, she's scared of Joey. But personally, I don't have a preference between cats or dogs. They're both awesome.
They are. I agree.
And do you like camellia songs? Well,
Not Anomaly.
yes, I can
For him,
assure
at
you.
least.
I can assure you I don't like Anomaly. But I can tell you one part of my body that does like camellia songs, and that is specifically my heart. Not in the way you think. In the way of the BPMs matching. What is your opinion on the JATO wiki? Oh god.
Oh boy. This could be its own separate video, couldn't it?
I actually have planned a JATO flawed video on the wiki. I did anyway have a JATO flawed plan on the wiki. But there's two problems. One, that's something that's really unsolvable. It's more like sharing the community why the wiki is bad. And plus, there's an official JATO wiki that was previously being made, but
It's not
it's
now.
not being worked on, I don't think, anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, we reached the end. Let's go.
No.
Good. We are done looking at your very questions and stuff. That was actually pretty fun.
Tragic. There were like 2 good questions as I thought there would be.
Yeah, I'm not shocked either.
My favorite question was, can you eat a table? I liked that question.
Yeah, that was a good question. Well, and there you go. Your garbage questions answered. I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe in the future, me and Joey will do this again. I guess we'll have to see. Well, thank you guys all very much for watching. I am Logan ISL, and have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.